Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. You know, I've been thinking lately as I have the latest Toyota Tacoma. It's a third-gen 2023 TRD off-road. That there are still a few things missing from this truck. Things that we used to be able to get kind of came standard. Well, nothing's really standard. I mean, you pay for everything, right? It's always about the money. But things that were standard always came with the Toyota Tacoma, at least in this trim level. There are 5 things that Toyota has removed. Number 1, just did a video on this the other day, the seat poles. Those little straps in the back that you use to pull the seats up and down. Toyota still puts the threaded holes back there, and if you watch that video, you can see how to add some back in yourself. Matter of fact, you can still even buy the OEM version because they have to still be out there for at least 10 years after they were removed in case Toyota needs to replace them. Crazy, just one of those things that kind of just disappeared that Toyota never really said anything about. Next up, the driver's side grab handle. That's been gone for quite a while. And the rumor is that there was some sort of an accident somewhere and somebody hit their head. So Toyota panicked and removed it, took it out of the truck. So now I guess you just hit your head on the A-pillar. Kind of a crazy knee-jerk reaction as far as I'm concerned, but it was probably some court decision. They probably paid less money to somebody that was injured if they agreed to remove that. Kind of like McDonald's with their too hot coffee. Imagine coffee too hot. I don't know, kind of crazy. Next up, the bed cubbies. We still have one over on the passenger side. It's a little dinky one right next to the power outlet if you have that. But there used to be a bigger one over on the driver's side. Toyota all of a sudden removed that. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. It just kind of disappeared. Now, I have put them back in myself on the blue 2020 that I had. I actually cut the hole out in the bed and reinserted one of those cubbies. I may do that with this truck. I'm not sure yet. But for some reason, they just removed it. I'm going to get to why here in just a minute. It was a pretty handy little space. You could put jumper cables or toe straps or gloves or anything like that in there that you wanted to keep inside of the truck. It just reduced the storage capacity of the Tacoma. Number 4, the dash cubby. I'm talking about right above your left knee where the controls are. There used to be a cubby there. Not anymore. It's gone. Now, that was, as small as it was, a handy little place to stick stuff. Change, your garage door opener, maybe your insurance info, anything. You could stick anything in there. A little thing of Kleenex so you could, I don't know, all kinds of stuff you could stick in there. It just disappeared. Gone. Number 5, the bulkhead rail. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you look at the back of the truck, in the bed, towards the front, right below the rear window, there used to be a rail that went across there. Now, you can still get that rail, but it doesn't come standard on the truck. I don't have it on this truck. I've put them in before, but I've got to say, they are pretty darn expensive. It's amazing to me how much those things cost. Now, you may ask, why do you need that? Well, they're great for tying stuff down, putting extra D-rings and stuff back there, accessories, things like that. I used it in the blue truck to hold the traction boards that I had put in. Great place to do stuff like that, but unfortunately, you've got to do it yourself now. Makes for a fun little project, but why did they get rid of it? Well, I said I was going to get to it, and I am going to get to it. They get rid of this stuff, not because they just forgot, or because it's some better design. It's all about the money. I mean, they are a for-profit business, right? And I understand that. They didn't reduce the price of these trucks when they took these things out. I mean, if you pay attention to the sticker, you'll notice there's no line that says cubby delete with a negative number, or rear seat pull strap delete with another negative number. They don't do that. They just take these things out and continue to charge whatever they charge for them. Now, I'm going to give you an example. Let's go with the seat pulls. Last year, Toyota sold 215,853 Toyota Tacomas. That's a lot of Tacomas, a little down from previous years, but given everything that's been going on, it's not surprising, including the supply issue. Anyway, 215,853 Tacomas. Now, let's say that rear seat pole, both of them, the hardware, the material, we could even throw in the labor. I'm probably a little bit low, but for the sake of argument, let's say it costs them 10 bucks a piece to put those in the truck. 10 bucks a piece. Now, just simple math. $10 times 215,853 units sold equals $2,158,530. That's a lot of money. I mean, pure profit to the bottom line, right? I mean, if you throw them out, you're not buying the material, you're not buying the hardware, you don't have an employee spending time screwing them in there. I'm sure that number is a bit low. Now, let's take this a little bit further. There are 5 items that I mentioned, and I know my number is low for all 5 of these, but I'm going to stick with that $10 mark, right? So we just take 5 times that 2,158,530, and we get $10,792,650. That's how much Toyota saved just using $10 as my average, I guess. And you know it's higher for things like the driver's side grab handle, the bed coveys, the rail, all of those things. It's probably more like 100 bucks a piece. But you get the idea. They save a heck of a lot of money by pulling these things out and not reducing the price to us. Now, you have to wonder, is that good business? Is it shady? Yeah, I don't know. I think it might be a little bit shady. You know, when you remove things, don't publicize it. Although, in all fairness, when you go to look at the truck, it is up to you to see what it has on it, right? And you decide whether or not you're willing to pay that number at the bottom of the sticker or that offer sheet at the dealership for what it is that you're going to get. So you do bear some responsibility for that. It's up to us after all. It just kind of angers me a little bit that they pull these things out and don't actually reduce the price of the truck. They'd probably argue that it's to offset the increasing costs of doing business. Well, I would say, why don't you just budget better for things and control your own costs better? But that's not how companies do things, you see. They just charge us more money or remove things and don't give us anything back. Who knows? Anyway, I just wanted to get on here, talk about that a little bit. There are things, those 5 things, and I'm sure there's probably more, that Toyota has removed that we don't get any credit for. Is there anything I've left off? Do you know of anything else? Leave a comment, let me know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Mod Driven, all about the Honda Civic, and RobMotive JT, all about the Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? And while you're at it, smash the subscribe button here too. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.